Hello everyone, welcome to today's 20-minute stability yoga flow. We are going to be working on unilateral movements to help with postural alignment. We will also be using 2 blocks throughout the sequencing of today's practice, so be mindful to have those at easy access. When you're ready, we'll get started facing the short edge of our yoga mat, standing in Utkatasana, mountain pose. Shoulders are rolled back and down. On your next inhale, we'll float our heels up, coming onto the balls of our feet. Exhale, lower down, lift the toes. And again, flowing with the breath. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower down, lift the toes. A few more rounds like this. Warming up the ankles, the feet, the calves, the shins, the toes. Tuning into the subtleties of the mind and the body. On your next inhale, we'll stay up on the balls of our feet, interlacing our fingers, extending our arms overhead, palms facing skywards. Finding length through the arms, lifting up through the crown of the head, engaging the core, squeezing the inner thighs together. One more breath. Exhale, release, lower the arms down by your side and lift all 10 toes up off the mat, maintaining a neutral alignment. One more breath. And gently lower the toes down. From here you can either place your hands on your hips, or you might like to interlace your fingers together at heart center. We're going to work on some hip mobility. We're going to ground down through our left leg, flexing the right knee, drawing the knee up to hip height, lowering down and going on the other side. Alternating steps, drawing the knee up to hip height and re-extending the leg. Working on an even distribution of weight and transfer of energy across one foot to the other. Lightly placing your foot back down with control. Returning to a standing position. On your next inhale, we'll extend our arms overhead, interlacing your right fingers around your left wrist, finding a nice side body stretch as we lean over to the right. Grounding down through both feet. Shoulders and hips are squared to the front. And we'll take the stretch on the other side, leaning towards the left as we feel a nice stretch from the right shoulder down to the right side body. Keeping the hips and shoulders squared. Exhale, float the arms down by your side. Now we are going to grab one block and come into Utkatasana chair pose. So hands on either side of the block, raising the block to shoulder height. Inhale, lower the hips, sinking them back as we raise the block above our head, arms extended. Exhale, come up to a standing position, squeeze the glutes, lower the block to shoulder height. And again, inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. Just like this, flowing with the breath. Being mindful to ground down through the heels whilst using the rest of the foot and all 10 toes for support. Squeezing the inner thighs together. Engaging the navel towards the spine. Finding length across both sides of the torso. Seeing if you can relax the muscles of the face. One more round of Utkatasana chair pose, slow and controlled. From here we will place the block between the inner thighs, squeezing them together, and on your next inhale, gently, with control, lower down, sink those hips back. We are going to stay low and maintain a static chair posture. That block is going to help create that mind-body awareness. Seeing if you can get those hips a little lower. Arms are extended. Feel yourself drawing up through the fingertips, through the crown of the head. Letting go of any tension. Feel yourself getting lighter with every exhale. Breathing in nourishing oxygen and nutrient-rich pranic life force into the body. Exhaling all stress, tension, and anxiety. A few more breaths. Keeping that intentionality, staying low. One more breath. Gently come up to a standing position and we'll release that block from between our thighs. Now we are going to extend that block out in front of us at shoulder height, grabbing a hold of either side of the block. And we're going to step back with our left leg coming into a low crescent lunge, lowering that knee, staying high on the ball of the foot as we extend that block up above us. Exhale, coming back to center. And again, stepping back with the right leg, raising the block above our head. Raising that back leg, lowering the block to shoulder height, stepping up to Tadasana. Flowing like this, finding your own cadence. Being mindful to keep that front knee, the right knee, in line with the ankle. And we also want to engage the inner thighs, scissor them together so that we're protecting the pelvis, the lower back. Keeping everything engaged. This is a mindful and controlled movement. Although there is a bit of dynamic movement going on here with the arms and the legs, the block is really helping us to find a little bit more balance. We've got something tangible to help us maintain that awareness, that inner focus. We'll stay down in crescent lunge and pulse. How low can you get that knee? Keeping the arms extended above the head, seeing how high you can lift that block. Navel is drawn towards the spine. Long, drawn out breaths, letting go of any tension. We'll stay down and hold. Just hovering that back knee, the left knee, ever so slightly off the floor. We're not here for long. We've made it this far. A few more breaths. One more breath. And gently come up to Tadasana. Lower the block to shoulder height, arms extended in front, and we'll get ready to go on the other side, stepping back with the right leg, lowering the right knee, and stepping up into Tadasana. Finding your cadence. Step back, lower the knee, lift the block, step up, lower the block, Tadasana. Again, being mindful to keep those legs activated, inner thighs scissoring together. Squeezing the glute at the top as you come into Tadasana. Keeping those arms extended the entire time. Finding fluidity in the shoulder socket. And being mindful to keep the shoulders rolled back and down, particularly when we extend the block up overhead. If you notice your shoulders creeping up towards your ears, just see if you can glide them down the back of your body. If you notice yourself wobbling around at all, you might like to widen your stance slightly. Every body is different. Tune into what feels right for you. Once more. And on your next step back, we'll stay down and pulse, keeping that block raised above the head, arms extended. Right knee, the back knee is lowered down towards the floor. It's a small movement up on the ball of that back foot. Heel is high. Being mindful to keep that left knee, the front knee, in line with the ankle. Keeping that abdomen engaged, drawing the navel towards the spine. Finding length across the side body. Seeing if you can relax the accessory muscles a little more, and we'll stay down and hold. Three more gradual, deep inhalations and exhalations. and coming up to Tadasana. Roll the shoulders back and down. From here, we are going to place our block beside us, taking a moment to ground ourselves in mountain pose. Tune into the breath. Arrive in this moment. Letting go of any expectations you had for this class. And from here, we'll grab either block, placing them underneath shoulder height. We are going to come into some supported Virabhadrasana 3 exercises, Warrior 3. Grounding down through the right leg, we'll extend our left leg back. Hips are squared to the mat. Toes are pointing towards the surface beneath you, as is the knee. And we're going to bend that right leg, coming into a shrimp squat and re-extending that left leg. Just like that, small and controlled movements. Lowering that right knee, drawing the left knee towards the back of the right knee and re-extending the leg into Warrior 3. Just ever so slightly resting your palms on the blocks. This is to aid with stability, but we want to keep the intentionality in the legs and the back. You can play around with the height of the blocks. And if you're feeling really strong today, you're more than welcome to place the blocks aside and maybe join your palms together at heart center. From here, we're going to stay up in Warrior 3, keeping that leg extended. If you notice that left hip externally rotating, just gently guide both hip points towards the mat beneath you. Perhaps you're beginning to feel it in the gluteus medius, the stabilizing muscle of the right hip. This is a good sign. And gently lower the leg down. One breath, you might like to shake out the legs once or twice, and we'll get ready to go on the other side. Finding your foundation, grounding down through the left leg, we'll extend that right leg. Foot is flexed, toes and knees are pointed towards the surface beneath you. And we'll come into those shrimp squats. Flexing the left knee, bending the right knee and bringing it behind the left leg and re-extending. Again, this can be as small or as large as a movement as you like. This is your practice. You are always welcome to make modifications. Keeping those shoulders level, abdomen engaged, softening the muscles of the face. Can you draw out from the crown of the head, creating length along the back of the neck? A few more. Remember to breathe. Once more. And from here, we'll stay up in our supported Warrior 3, squaring the hips, staying strong through our tripod foundation. You've got this, using that gluteus maximus on the right hand side to lift that leg up, keeping everything engaged, the quadriceps, the hips, the ankle, the calves, the foot. Everything is working together. 2 more breaths here. And gently release the right leg back down onto the floor, placing the blocks to the side, and we'll come into a forward fold, allowing the chest and the belly to rest on the top of the thighs, bending the knees considerably, shifting the weight into the heels, sinking the hips back. 1 more breath. And from here, we'll come into Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, extend, halfway lift. And again, forward fold. Once more, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And from here, we'll roll up 1 vertebra at a time, grounding down through the heels. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, lower them to heart center. Taking a moment in mountain pose to ground yourself, find your breath. And when you're ready, we'll turn to face the long edge of our mat, widening our stance, heels in, toes out. Sinking the hips back as we come into a goddess pose. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, lower them to heart center. working on getting a 90-degree angle between the legs and the floor beneath you, keeping those knees in line with ankles. Whilst in goddess pose, we are going to come into some abdominal core work. We're going to flex the elbows, gently place the palms behind the head, twist to the right, back to center, and lower that right elbow towards the right knee, coming into a side body twist. And again, slow and controlled movements. Twist to the right, back to center, lower the right elbow towards the right knee, exhale back to center. Twist, center, right elbow to right knee, and center. Small movements, finding your own rhythm, being mindful to keep the torso upright, seeing if you can keep those hips lowered, engaging the inner thighs, the outer thighs, the glutes, keeping that abdomen strong so that we're protecting our lower back. One more round, twist to the side, center, to the knee and up. And from here, we'll just stay down and pulse, drawing that right knee towards the right elbow or vice versa, feeling the oblique activation, and back to center. We'll go on the other side, twist to the side, center, lower the left elbow towards the left knee and back to center. Small movements. Side, center, elbow to knee, center. Side, center, elbow to knee, center. Really working on keeping those elbows splayed wide. If you notice them creeping towards your face, towards the midline, just work on engaging the outer arms, the shoulders to hold them back so that we're broadening across the chest, the collarbones. Everything is working together. From here, we'll stay with those standing side crunches, lowering our left elbow to our left knee, back to center. Lower, pulse, stay low, elbow to knee. Really feeling those side abdominals and back to center. Extend the legs, heel, toe, the feet together. Come into Utkatasana, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the hands to heart center. You can either stay facing the long edge of your mat. I am going to come to the short edge of the mat for the purpose of demonstrating this posture. We're going to come into a figure 4 standing stretch or standing pigeon. Grounding down through the right leg, we will place the lateral edge of the left foot on top of the right thigh, squaring off the hips. Maybe keeping the hands on the hips or joining the palms together in prayer position, and we'll sink our hips back. Really feeling a deep stretch along the glutes. Grounding down through that supporting leg. You might like to place one forearm on top of the other if that helps with balance. Perhaps closing the eyes if you'd like a bit of a challenge. Letting go. Allowing your body to stretch out after all of the work that you have done, all of the nourishment that you have afforded your mind, body, and soul. One more breath. Gently release, come up to Utkatasana, maybe shake the hips out once or twice, and we'll get set up to go on the other side, grounding down through the left leg, placing the blade edge of that right foot on top of the left thigh, coming into that figure 4, finding an arm variation that works for you, and beginning to sink those hips back. It's perfectly natural if you observe an imbalance between the two sides. Again, this is simply an invitation to spend a little more time in the side that could use a little more love. Be curious, be compassionate, accept where you're at today, and recognize your efforts for showing up. A few more breaths, release. Let it go. One more breath, and when you're ready, work your way back up to Tadasana. Well done on today. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.